first guest tonight. My first guest is a good friend, a fine actor. George is going to be starring in a new play called Henceforward, which will open mid-October in the city of Houston. Would you welcome Mr. George Segal? Welcome back. Good
Thank
to see
you.
Having a good summer?
Yeah, great summer.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
dressed very nice tonight.
Yes, well, this is in honor of the Secretary of State. George Shultz had a suit like this.
Oh, did he? That's right. He was dressed rather summery, wasn't he?
Yes.
You've been following the hearings?
I have been, yes.
Yeah. Interesting, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Yeah, you're looking well.
Yes, and you're looking well,
Thank
too.
you very much.
Better than I've seen you, I think, in some time. So your new life, whatever it is, must be really agreeable.
I think so, yes. Okay.
You have that little sparkle in your eye.
Thank you very much. Moving along.
Yes.
Now, the last time you were here,
Yes.
I hate to bring this up.
No,
but,
please.
You know, we're close friends. I can bring it up. You were talking about your new television show, a half-hour situation comedy that was going to go on there, which didn't even have a title at that time.
It's called what was called Take 5, but we get ahead of our story.
Well, let's don't get ahead of our story.
All right.
We've got to have some chronology here.
Yes.
What was the title that finally went on?
It went on as
Take 5.
Take 5.
Mm-hmm. Now, it didn't do too well, did it? We can discuss things like this.
All right, I prefer actually to leave the past, of course, in the past, but it is the recent past, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We made 6 of these shows, Take 5.
Right.
And actually two got on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had other ideas for it because, of course, if you remember, I did a kind of publicity tour around the country. I kicked the whole thing off here.
That's right.
On NBC. And I remember that Eddie Murphy came on the show. He has a movie, Beverly Hills Cop 2. He came on the show just before, and that went through the roof. So I
you
thought,
figured, hey.
You know?
Perfect. Sure.
Sure. And in addition to that, this is NBC, and it was a CBS show. But because of my long relationship with
And
the show,
because of our friendship.
you invited me on the show, and you allowed me to plug a show from another network.
At great lengths, we did.
At great length.
So anyway...
None of that worked.
Didn't... So the tour was cut short, I guess, the promotional tour.
Well, yes, when I got to New York, I did an interview again on NBC with Brian Gumbel, which was another coup for me, and
Yeah,
then
of course
because
it
I
was.
was promoting a show from another network. But then it was taken off the air at that point.
Well, that's it.
While
So
I was still in
So
New
the
York.
6 episodes were
Well-
not seen.
Well, 2 of them were seen. I saw 1 of the 2, and then the remaining 4 are going into the time capsule. For future generations, because they'll want something to refer to.
Well, that doesn't seem to give a show much of a chance to only have 2 episodes. You know, it's
Yes.
hard to build a continuity or a viewer base, as we say in the business.
It is, but then there's also wisdom in withdrawing something that doesn't work, actually. You try to get out with dignity, which has been very difficult. I never had to mention this until actually this show. But it's interesting when you have a show that doesn't work. Nobody speaks to you at all. When you don't hear that, you find out in the newspapers that it's not. But that's okay, too, because we had nothing more to say to one another, did we?
That's right. So anyway, you've been in the business a long time, and that's part of it. There are
you
hills
have
and
your
there
ups, you have
there are
your
hills and there are
downs.
valleys.
There's a roller coaster
Yeah,
ride.
and you had a little valley, and the roller coaster kind of went
right into the drink.
into the drink. Would you do another TV series?
I would do another TV series, but I'd probably want more time this time, because what happened on this show was that you know what a pilot is. A pilot is like a show at the beginning, which shows who the characters are and where they're going.
I've heard that.
And
I didn't fall off a turnip truck, you know. I know what a pilot is. That's show business talk. Yes.
So I thought that we were just going to do this pilot and then see where we were and see what we had and see if the network liked it. But in all of these negotiations, suddenly they agreed that there would be 6 on the air.
So you were rushed.
Yes, you have a way of summing things
You
up.
were rushed, and you didn't get the quality into the show that you would normally get into the show if you had time to really analyze it. So you were pushed to get these shows done, and therefore...
And therefore, a person with my sensitivity who needs to take time...
And your taste.
and my taste.
Yes.
And in addition to that, I had no idea what the character was. I think when you're an actor and you're playing a part, you know, like, well, there are masters at this like Newhart and Bill Cosby, and we know who they are instantly. And I had trouble myself, and I'm the guy playing it, knowing just who I was. So I think it was time to go back to the drawing board.
Right. Now, are you going to... Would you ever show those 4 episodes? I mean, you've got them there. I mean...
Well, they're not mine. Actually, they belong to the network, and I assume they've chosen not to show them.
Well, I didn't bring this up, you know, to make you feel badly.
Well, you haven't. It's such a pleasure seeing you, the new you.
And it's a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.
Even though it went in the dumper. But those are hills and valleys.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a break here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about something, you know, that's a little more up, a little more up, a little more.
I look forward to it.
Great sale, if you know karate. They grab the good stuff. I get thumped, bumped, pushed aside, and yelled at. I've got a headache this big, and it's screaming for Excedrin.
Excedrin, the headache medicine. Regular strength pain relievers give you only this much medicine, but Excedrin gives you this much more. Nothing proven stronger without a prescription.
I had a headache this big, but I took Excedrin, and it's gone.
Excedrin, the headache medicine, also in caplets.
My Oscar Mayer hot dog is juicy as can be. That's why I've got my napkin on to catch the juice you see. I like the taste of juiciness, but I am wearing my new dress.
Oscar Mayer roasts them to seal in the natural juices and make them just the best that they can be. But do you really need a napkin?
I can't take it off it then.
Jennifer?
I have to put it on again.
You want beautiful hair? Then drench it. That's why Nexus makes Humectress. It's a potent moisture potion for hair. Humectress gets inside the hair shaft to soak it, drenching dry, damaged hair from the inside out. Lose the frizzies, gain bounce, strength, and luster. You want beautiful hair? Then drench it with Nexus Humectress. Because when it comes to hair, wetter is definitely better.
Nexus products, sold only in hairstyling salons.
What are the untold stories about America's newest hero, Oliver North? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
What are the surprising reasons Ollie's so incredibly popular? This week's National Enquirer tells you. What are 5 ways to use your time better? How can any woman look 10 years younger?
It's in the Enquirer.
What's the real reason Stallone's divorcing his wife? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
It's the fabulous Pointer Sisters on Coming Together this Saturday on TV4.
Which car owners just love to brag about reliability and dependability? Toyota Camry owners. So it's not surprising they tell the most amazing stories of the unbelievable feeling of security they have driving their Camrys. Presenting the 1987 Toyota Camry. More power, handsome new styling. An amazing car gets even better. Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Sports Update, brought to you by your participating Boston area Goodyear retailers.
Well, it's a sayonara to Bill Buckner. The Red Sox released him today. They'll call up Sam Horn from Pawtucket, but Buckner is out of a job. And, of course, some of these other people able to find work where work is available. Yes, it's true. And don't forget, if you, too, want to be on Sports Spotlight, just send us a videotape of yourself in action. That's the only way I know how to describe it. And we may use it. We may not, but we may.
Take me back where I belong. Take me where it's safe and warm.
The Goodyear Vector is the all-season radial that pumps water away to keep more tire tread on the road. And for some, that's a comforting thought.
Take me home, Goodyear, take me home. Never matters how far I go. Goodyear, take me home.
Get ready for Jaws, Monday at 8:30 on TV4.
uplifting stuff now. Now, do something uplifting.
Uplifting.
Are you one of those actors when you're not working who go nuts? Because I don't see you. You're pretty much of a home guy, aren't you?
Yes,
Hang
I
around
am.
the house
I
like
am.
that.
Some of us call it being out of work. Others of us call it recharging their batteries.
I didn't say out of work. Now I said
You said
when you're
when
not
you're out of
working.
work.
Well, I phrased it different. When you're not working. I didn't want to be so negative.
Well, maybe I'm too sensitive.
Yes, I think you are.
That is one of my problems.
So now that you're at liberty.
At liberty, yes, between jobs.
That's
yes.
right. What do you do around the house?
I like to wander. I try to do a little bit of exercise every day, and then I like to wander around. A lot of magazines come in. There are books, stuff that I've started, haven't read, and you just walk around. You go from one thing to another. Of course, the hearings have been taking up a lot of...
That's right.
It's been really an education, I think, watching this, and I think it's very appropriate in our bicentennial year that we... I was impressed with how well-spoken everybody is and how smart everybody seems to be. I mean, that's one thing out of it, isn't it? I didn't mean to get in that. Yes, I like to doodle around the house. I like to pick up the occasional magazine. I'll see a book here that I haven't seen, and I'll pick that up. I am a homebody, and I like to nibble all day, kind of thing. Just walk around, take a piece of apple, a piece of orange, something of that nature. Does that answer your question?
More than I really wanted, yeah. Well, I mean, do you do home repairs, stuff like that?
I'm not really a tinkerer. I want to be
Or
one.
a butter bee, yes.
Or a butter bean?
Neither a tinker or a putter bee. I don't know, I was just doing a little takeoff on Shakespeare. Neither a borrow nor a lender bee, neither a tinker or a
putter bee.
Did you ever do any Shakespeare?
I did. O thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed my daughter? Damned as thou art, thou hast enchanted her, for I'll refer me to all things of sense, if she in chains of magic were not bound. Whether a maid, so tender, fair, and pretty, so opposite to marriage that she shunned the wealthy colored darlings of our nation, would ever have to encourage and will mock, run from her bondage to the sooty bosom of such a thing as thou, to fear not to delight. What a moment, what a moment, what a moment.
You'd have done that on TV instead of that Take 5. You know, Shakespeare every week. Who knows?
Yes, well...
Excerpts from Shakespeare
sure.
would be nice.
Why
To be
not?
or not to be, that is the question. Next line.
Very good. Whether 'tis nobler, I never did
It is
that.
nobler in the
Yeah.
minds
Oh,
of men
great.
to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them.
My God, I saw Richard Burton do that. I've seen so many people do that, but nobody got underneath it like that.
It's the subtleties that they all miss.
I know, and you came right out of conversation and right into
right
it. It was
into it.
invisible mending.
Isn't that nice?
Oh.
See, your banjo's back there.
Ah, yes.
Get it out here.
Hey.
Good segue, huh? They don't call me the Prince of Segways for nothing. From Shakespeare to the banjo. This is a good show, folks. Any show that can go from Shakespeare to be or not to be to a banjo.
We will not soon forget what you just
That's
did on television.
Thank you.
Some of us won't soon
Or
forget.
perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. Love that. It's the only soliloquy I really know.
You got me again.
Who would fardels bear?
Fartles?
Fardels. Never play the banjo. Why, play the banjo, Gracie. Are you tuning up? See, I never know when you started a number. That wasn't it, you